is physical. If you are attending the meeting physically, please reduce the walking around or discussion in the course of the meeting. Kindly also keep your phone on silent. This will also help avoid distraction while a speech is being presented. The rules number 2 is when you are called up to speak or play a role. If it's online, kindly on our video so we can see your face and your beautiful smile. And this will help the evaluators get details better to use in evaluating you. If this meeting is physically, kindly walk up to the lectern and take control to the lectern to speak the play your role. The rules number 3, disseminating information in the course of the meeting. If this meeting is online, kindly watch the comment section always, as we will be posting useful details that will help drive the meeting success. If this meeting is physically, information will be communicated to us here. The rules number 4, it's the voting procedures. If this is online, at the completion of each speech on evaluation segment, a voting prompt will be displayed on your screen. Kindly click to vote the person you believe had done justice to the speech or evaluation delivered. So if this physical, at the completion of each speech or evaluation segment, we will share a slip for you to vote. On the slip, please study properly to understand the section to vote in. We encourage us all to participate in the meeting to help us have a great meeting. So I give you the Toastmaster promise. As a member of Toastmaster International on my club, I promise to attend club meeting regularly to prepare all of my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmaster education program to prepare for a fulfilled meeting assignments, to provide fellow Toastmasters with helpful, constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meeting so they can see benefits Toastmaster membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmaster educational and recognition programs, to act within Toastmaster core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. So our mission is, the mission of Toastmaster Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience by which members develop the communication and leadership skills. So without further also, I would love to call on the person who will take the meeting forward, an experienced advertising and business strategist. He serves on the board of some technology-driven companies and loves helping people achieve their greatest potential. He is no other person than the president of the Seaside Toastmaster Club, Toastmaster Ebube Joel Mordi. If you are online, kindly unmute yourself. If you are offline, please with a big round of applause. Let's welcome the president of Seaside Toastmaster, TM Ebube Joel Mordi, to the lectern. Thank you. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Flora, for the warm introduction. Please,
Okay.
fellow Toastmasters and guests, can we please celebrate Toastmaster Flora one more time? Use the emoticon, use the react button, and please celebrate Toastmaster Flora. Thank you so much for the warm introduction. Thank you as well for getting to gracefully set the tone for today's meeting and calling today's meeting to order. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, good afternoon and welcome to today's meeting. Today is a collaborative meeting between Seaside Toastmasters Club, a Lagos-based Toastmasters Club in Nigeria, and Boni Toastmasters Club, a Burkina Faso-based Toastmasters Club. So in today's meeting, we're having Anglophone, we're also having Francophone, the English-speaking country, as well as the French-speaking country. And today's meeting, we're going to have today's meeting in English language. So I'd like to welcome everyone to this unusual meeting, and it promises to be an amazing meeting. Before we get started in today's meeting, I would like to recognize some dignitaries who have joined us from far and wide. And I would like to begin by getting to welcome our very own guests. Guests who have joined us from Burkina Faso, guests who have joined us from Nigeria, guests who have joined us from the entire part of the universe in today's meeting. Please, I'd like to welcome you to today's meeting. Thank you so much for joining us in today's meeting. We do not take your presence for granted, and we assure you that today's meeting is going to be an exceptional meeting. I also like to recognize the presence of the Division E Director, Toastmaster Bukari Sawado. We also like to recognize the Division D Director, Toastmaster Ayotola Olarenwaju. We also like to recognize Division J Immediate Past Division Director, Toastmaster Nadine Yoda. I also like to recognize the Area 14 Director, Toastmaster Sylvia. I also like to recognize the Area 16 Director, Toastmaster Asine. I also like to recognize our very own Area 11 Director, Toastmaster Ibinabo Oyibo. I also like to recognize the immediate past president of Boni Toastmasters Club. Thank you for accepting this initiative, Toastmaster Gnada, and also the immediate past president of Seaside Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Ibrahim Ajani. Please, with a virtual round of applause, can we celebrate all these dignitaries who have joined us in today's meeting. Today, we're going to have an unusual meeting, a meeting that is dedicated to drive us to growth and to help us to achieve the goal for joining Toastmasters International. And the theme for today's meeting is Make Every Day Count. So what makes every day count for different people could be those little activities that we involve ourselves in, right? So different people have their own different trajectory, life experiences, and struggles. And based on those struggles, they build on the activities that is going to drive them the entire day. For example, someone might show up for today's meeting, and it could be an experience that can help the person achieve or make that person's day to count. Some people have different diverse things that they have to do to make their day to count. And in today's meeting, showing up alone is a step in the right direction to help us achieve our goal, to help make today's meeting to be a success, and to even help us to make our day count. So just as we are all gathered together in today's meeting, I'd like to encourage us. Showing up is a step in the right direction. Participating as well is going to help us to have a seamless experience in today's meeting. Let's volunteer for table topic segment. Let's try to see how to participate in one way or the other. And I believe that once we're able to do this, we're going to have an amazing experience in today's meeting. Once again, I would like to welcome everyone to today's meeting. And the inspirational quote for our meeting today is from Muhammad Ali. And he said, and I quote, "Don't count the days, make the days count." By the powers vested on me as the president of Seaside Toastmasters Club, I therefore declare today's meeting officially open. Please celebrate yourself, ladies and gentlemen, and let's dive in to get to have an amazing experience. Toastmasters International is built with structure. In every Toastmasters meeting, we have an anchor, someone who is dedicated to help us transition into different segments of Toastmasters meeting. Today's meeting is not different from that. We're going to have somebody who is going to pilot the entire affairs of today's meeting. And that person in Toastmasters is known as the Toastmaster of the day. And please permit me, fellow Toastmasters and guests, as I introduce the Toastmaster of the day to take over from me. And the Toastmaster of the day is an agronomist, plant breeding. His hobby is football. His favorite quotes, "Successful people do what unsuccessful people do, are not willing to do. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better." That quote was by Jim Rohn. And fellow Toastmasters and guests, please join me as I welcome the Toastmasters meeting. He is no other than Toastmaster Salif. Please, with a virtual round of applause, join me as we welcome the Toastmaster of the day. So please take it over from here. Toastmaster of the day, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, dear President Idube, for this well introduction of myself. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Salif Ouattara. Welcome to this special joint session between Seaside Toastmasters Club of Nigeria and Boni Toastmasters Club of Burkina Faso. It's a real pleasure to bring together our cultures across borders in the true spirit of Toastmasters. As your Toastmasters, it's a real pleasure for me to guide you today throughout the entire session. And today our topic is make every day count. Make every day count. That means that every day is a new page, an opportunity to take advantages of. So I will say,
You're mute, sir.
Your microphone.
I'm sorry. So thank you very much, dear President. So you didn't listen to my introduction at all?
Yes, we listened. We stopped at where you were trying to move on to the next transition. We heard you.
Okay. Yeah, so let's get started. Dear fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, you know, public speaking is never trivial. We speak to sell ourselves. We speak to get a job. We speak to say that we are here. We speak to convince. So proper preparation is a key to avoid power performance. This is why we are at Toastmasters. And let me tell you how our session will be conducted. Normally, we will have three main parts. The third part is the administrative part, which we just attended with our president of Seaside Toastmasters Club. Then we will have the educative part, which included the impromptu speeches and prepared speeches. And today we have an honor to have 4 speakers with us. And after the educative part, we will have the third part, the important one in Toastmasters, which is the evaluation part. And during this section, the general evaluator of the day with his team will help us to sharpen our communication skills, in order to upgrade our level. So, having said that, let me invite on stage a leader, a great leader who will lead the evaluation team. He is from Seaside Toastmaster Club. He is an experienced accountant who joined Toastmasters since 2014 in order to develop his public speaking skills. He is a Triple Crown Toastmaster Award winner and ACB and LEB holder. He loves to wear a smile so the world can smile back at him. When he is not balancing accounts, he loves to listen to music and watch Arsenal Football Club. That is so sad because Arsenal beat us last week. His favorite quote is from Nelson Mandela, the former South Africa president. It always seems impossible until it is done. Dear fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, please can we have a big round of applause for our General Evaluator, Toastmaster Francis Mukol, to introduce his team. Dear General Evaluator, over to you. Is Francis Mukolo around?
Yeah, he said the network is throwing me out.
Thank you very much. I'm having issues with my network, but let's see if I can manage. Thank you very much. I think can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you.
Okay, thank you most kindly. It is a delight to be the general evaluator in this auspicious meeting. Bon après-midi to my friends all the way from Burkina Faso. Welcome to Nigeria. So the general evaluator, my job is quite simple: to evaluate anything and everything that happens at today's meeting. It was Ada Guest, an American poet, that said, evaluation provide feedback for growth and development. So we'll help ourselves, give ourselves feedback and ensure we all grow. So my first role player, I will not be doing this alone. I have a GAMU, a set of role players to help us achieve this aim of growth and development. It's the grammarian to help us increase our vocabulary and ensure we use proper English construction. I will beckon on the grammarian to help introduce his role. Our grammarian is an actuarian. He is as well the Vice President Education of our great club. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, let's make welcome Toastmaster Kudus Adebayo.
Thank you very kindly, the general evaluator. You must have heard a popular saying, or if you've not heard, I'm telling you now, that the best way for you to win an argument is for you to start correcting the other person's grammar. Once you start saying, no, that's not what you're supposed to say. You are supposed to use is and not what's there. The person will start thinking, and before you know, you've won. So my work today is to ensure that we all take cognizance of how we use our grammar. It is very important for us to use the right grammar anytime we are speaking. And I will also be introducing the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word of the day is jubilant. Jubilant. It means feeling or expressing great happiness and joy. Synonyms can be elated, overjoyed, ecstatic, euphoric, Antonyms: miserable, sorrowful, dejected. For example, the team was jubilant after winning the championship match. Mr. Toastmaster of the day. Arsenal was jubilant after beating the hell out of Real Madrid. So I will be coming back to tell us those who have used the word of the day in today's meeting. I will also be talking about those of us that have used the grammar well and those that didn't. Till then, over to you, the Toastmaster, the general evaluator.
Thank you most kindly. Baton well received, Mr. Grammarian. So what grammar? The grammarian is in the building. I'm so jubilant to see you, Toastmaster Kudus. I also remain very jubilant that our role players, our guests, and Toastmasters all the way from the other side of Africa, we all use the word of the day. My next role player is the accountant to help us tell us the details of our role. Her name is Toastmaster Ulrich Basol, the Toastmaster all the way from Bobokuma Toastmaster, and the Area 16 Director. We have an Area Director in our midst. Welcome. Jubilant to have you here. He joined Toastmaster to improve his speaking and as well as to improve in networking and leadership. Toastmaster Ulrich Basol, the virtual lectern is yours. Take it away from me.
Thank you very much, dear General Evaluator. I'm the accountant for today, and the purpose of this role of the accountant is to note words and sound that use as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen carefully for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including a, uh. I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase, such as I, or this mean, this mean. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used this expression. Thank you very much, dear General Evaluator. The floor is yours.
Merci, merci, merci beaucoup. Thank you again and again. Just want to Ulrich. Jubilance to take note of your name, Ulrich. Maybe you have so much money. That's why you have that name. You're very rich. Well done. Nice to meet you. So a final role player to help us keep track, so we don't lose track when we begin the whole camaraderie, when we become so jubilant by meeting our friends from Burkina Faso. To help us, put us in check, is the timer. The timer has been rightly introduced, and I will just give one word. He's a mentor, he's a friend, he's as well the president of our great club. Toastmaster Ebube Modi, over to you.
Thank you so much, sir, the general evaluator, for the warm introduction. As has been introduced, I'm going to be the timer for today's meeting, and my job is to help us keep to time so that we don't overshoot the time that is allotted for each segment of today's meeting. And for me to do that, I'm going to do it with 3 colored cards. I'm going to use the green. The green, each time you are speaking, please watch out on my background. I'm going to be changing my background images. Please, anytime I show the green, it means that your speech is qualified. In Toastmasters, your speech is expected to get to a minimum time to get to be qualified. And then I also move on to yellow. Yellow means that you need to start wrapping up your speeches because you are almost approaching the end of your time. And then red is that you are completely exhausted your time and you need to wrap up and vacate the virtual lectern. We have 3 categories of speeches today. we have the prepared speech segment, which is going to last for 5 to 7 minutes. When it's 5 minutes, I'm going to share the green card. When it's 6 minutes, I will share the yellow card. When it's 7 minutes, I share the red card. However, if you fall due of your time, there is a grace of 30 seconds that will be given to you for you to wrap up your thoughts and finalize your speech and hand over the lectern. The second category of speeches that will be going on today is the evaluation segment. We are expected to deliver your evaluation within 2 to 3 minutes. Once is 2 minutes, I'm going to share the green card. Once is 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I share the yellow. Then 3 minutes, I share the red card. You have a grace of 30 seconds, so wrap up your thoughts and then hand over control. Then the final segment is the table topic segment. We are expected to speak for a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes. Once is 1 minute, I share the green. Once is 1 minute, 30 seconds, I share the yellow. Once is 2 minutes, I get to share the red. You say have a grace of 30 seconds before you of your time. And I believe that if we're able to keep to time, we're going to arrive early and get to end our meeting early and not overshoot the time that is allotted for each speaker and each speaking segment. Thank you so much. And back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you again and again, Mr. Time. I'm so jubilant, so excited to have this set of experienced Toastmasters help with the roles, the grammarian, the accounter, as well as the timekeeper. I'm so jubilant in anticipation of today's meeting. So towards the end of the meeting, myself and the tag team will come together to give us feedback that will help towards our growth.
Hello, General Evaluator.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, let us sit back and enjoy the meeting. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. Take it away from me.
Dear General Evaluator, can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you, but I don't think he can hear you.
You forgot me.
Yes, the listening evaluator. Oh, yes. Sorry.
Don't forget me. Oh. But I think you can
just please just go on and introduce the listening evaluator. I'm not sure if he can hear us.
So, dear, you can go ahead. Listening evaluator.
Okay, thank you. So, good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm Sylvie Tuguma, and I have the pleasure of being your listening evaluator for today's meeting. My role is to observe how we listen to one another throughout the session. As we know, active listening is a crucial skill in communication. Stephen Covey said that most people do not listen with the intent to understand, they listen with the intent to reply. Today, I encourage all of us to purposefully focus on understanding each speaker. I will be paying close attention to the detail shared during the speeches, table topics, and evaluation. I will note key points, interesting facts, and even moments where we might not pay attention to some detail. Let me also share this thought by William Blake, who said, "Exuberance is beauty. Let us bring that jubilant energy into our listening, being curious, cheerful, and fully present." At the end of the meeting, when I will be called by the General Evaluator, I will share my observations and will even test your memory with few questions. So stay attentive. Let all of us practice mindful listening and make this session even more jubilant. Dear General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, dear listening evaluator.
And thank you very much to our jubilant general evaluator for the well introduction of his team. Without wasting time, let's move on with the prepared speeches.
No, this is
As
the topic.
in the agenda, it will prepare speeches first before the table topic section. This is what
Of course,
we have.
Toastmaster, they go ahead.
Yeah. So, as I said, today we have 4 speakers. The first speaker is from Seaside Toastmaster Club. She is a skilled multimedia presenter with extensive experience in speech writing, event hosting, and voice acting, with a strong passion and enthusiasm for effective communication. She teaches and influences imbibing communication and leadership skills. She is an associate of the Nigeria Institute of Public Relations and all certifications in voice acting elocution, among others. But before calling on stage our speaker, let me invite on stage an evaluator. To evaluate our speaker, let me invite Toastmaster Abiba Oyemini to tell us more about the speak objective of our speaker number 1. Dear Toastmaster Abiba, over to you.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. Kindly confirm you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So today I have the privilege of evaluating Toastmaster Boma Harrison. She'll be speaking from the Engaging Humor Pathway Level 1 Project 3, and the objective of her speech is for her to be more expressive and engaging while speaking. I'll be looking out for how well she used her vocabulary and physical expression to enhance her message. So, Bekele Mboma.
Thank you very much, dear leader Abiba, for the presentation of the speak objective of our speaker. Now we have more information about her speech. Now please put your hand together for our speaker, Boma, as she will deliver her speeches. You have the floor, dear Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, and good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. I am jubilant to be here and part of this Toastmasters meeting. I'll be speaking today on the topic navigating the generational divide in the workplace. Have you had a situation where there was a huge generational gap between yourself and your colleague? I know I have. Most of the time, these generational divides are more driven by stereotypes versus any real thing. And so today, I'm here to share some tips on crossing that generational gap. Let me get the definitions out of the way. If you're born anywhere between 1965 to 1980, you would be termed a Gen X. Can I see some Gen X's in the house? Thank you. You're welcome. If you're born anywhere between 1981 to 1996, you will be termed a millennial. I'm a millennial, so hello to all millennials in the house. And lastly, if you're born anywhere between 1997 to 2006, you'll be termed a Gen Z. So hello to all Gen Zs. These bulk of individuals and groups generations form 80% of the workplace today. And as I reiterated before, most of the beliefs are driven by stereotypes. The generational gap are driven by stereotypes and are not necessarily real. I'll start off by giving the first tip. The first tip is communication style. In terms of communication styles, we know that the Gen X's tend to prefer formal means of communication. So, for example, phone calls or face-to-face meetings. And then the millennials prefer a bit more informal form of communication, WhatsApp, messaging, social media, as part of their communication. When dealing with colleagues, it's best to be flexible and adopt the style preferred by your colleague. You can also engage in codes of conduct, ways of engagement to bridge this gap. Another way could also be to ask for generational vocabulary explanation. So you could always ask, what does this emoji mean? What does this word mean? Just to bridge that gap. I know how many times I've asked my daughter, what does this mean? I really don't understand what you're trying to say. Say it in a language that I can understand. The second tip I would give would be understanding motivational styles. Gen X tend to be motivated by work-life balance and a personal sense of responsibility, whereas the Gen Zs tend to be more motivated by creativity, individuality, and personalization. Therefore, just understanding the motivation which would bring the project or your colleague better might be a way to bridging that gap. I would bring the third example, which is building trust. As Mario Marchi once said, there is more that unites us than divides us. This is so true because there are so many things that we could unite over. For example, building trust, we could build it outside the office in bonding on personal passions, hobbies, things that we could do outside the office, which could show shared activities. I do hope that with all these things, this brings things that we could do to bridge the generational gap together. I would like to give an example of a young colleague who asked for coaching outside the office. And one of the things that he noticed during the coaching session and after the coaching session, which was interesting to me, was for each time that he lagged behind the group when we were working out, because this was something that I could only bring in outside work hours, he noticed that I went to get him so that he could join the pack. He used it as an anchor to show the personalization that I gave to him, which is when he lagged behind the pack, I went to get him. These were things that I didn't personally notice myself, but in just being flexible, he appreciated that. He appreciated the fact that I paid attention to his individuality and I did work on that. And he also noticed and also worked on that. So I hope with this example, some of the things that we've discussed, I have brought to the fore. I would like to recap by summarizing the 3 points. Stereotypes are more perceived and not necessarily real. There are more things that unite us than divide us. And we can bridge our styles, leveraging the communication gap to what is preferred by the partner. I would like to hear from you in the comments section, on the chat section, how you would take this further and how would you would use this to bridge whatever generational gap exists in your workplace starting from Tuesday. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Boma, for this wonderful speech. It was very jubilant. Now let's move on with the second speaker. Our second speaker is from Boni Toastmaster Club. She is an inside sales representative. She joined Toastmaster since June 2024 in order to cultivate leadership and communication. Her hobbies are traveling, learning music, and her favorite food is potato gratin. And her best quote is from Xavier Dolan. I quote, "Everything is possible to those who dream, dare, work, and never give up." Our second speaker is Toastmaster Sylvie Savadogo. But before calling on stage Sylvie Savadogo, let's invite on stage an evaluator to tell us more about the objective of the speech of Toastmaster Sylvie Savadogo. Please, dear leader Alsaid Wedrago, would you tell us more about the speech of our leader Sylvie Savadogo, please?
Thank you so much, dear Toastmaster of the day, for giving me the floor to give the objective of our leader, Sylvie Savadogo. Is the leader around? I would like to ask to turn on a camera so that I can see her face. The leader Sylvie has embraced presentation mastery, and she has to deliver project 1 level 2 to this afternoon. The time allocated for this project is 5 to 7 minutes. During a speech, our leader have to learn about different communication style and identify her primary style. And also share the impact of a speech on others. In the speech also, she has to deliver a organized speech, talking about the introduction, the body, and make a conclusion. Let me remind her that she has to remind us about her own communication style and how it's going to have an impact on other leaders. During the speech of leader, I'll be watching on different points also, like the vocal variety, the eye contact, if she will be watching on people, the gesture, and also if she will be able to catch the audience awareness. Dear Toastmaster of the day, here is the objective of our leader, and back to you.
Thank you very much, dear leader, for well presentation of the speech objective of our leader, Sylvie Savadogo. Toastmaster site Wedrago is the current VPA of Boni Toastmaster Club. Thank you very much for this well presentation. Now let's invite on stage our speaker, Toastmaster Sylvie Savadogo, to deliver a speech. Please, you make a big applause for her. The leader, you have a floor.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, the fellow Toastmaster, the visitor and guests. I was thinking about what I'm going to talk to you this afternoon, and I decided to talk to you about time management. Managing your time effectively is crucial to achieve personal and professional goals. Let me tell you my story. You know, when I was in my final years of high school, I was studying very well at school and really to obtain my baccalaureate with a scholarship to continue my study. On the day of the mathematics exam, I made a mistake and had to retake the essay. So I didn't have more time, and finally, I obtained my baccalaureate with only 5 in mathematics subjects. My dream was shattered because I didn't have enough time to correct my mistake. Just to show you how it is important to have good time management. Dear fellow Toastmaster, visitor, and guests, my topic is divided into main points. Firstly, I would like to talk about what prevents us from managing our times, because Charles Darwin once said, and I quote, "Whoever dares to waste an hour of his life has not discovered the values of life." You know, time slips from our fingers. We do our best to manage it, to plan it, to organize it, and usually we run out. Time is our most precious commodity because it's unique and limited. We spend more time worrying about what's beyond our control: the action of others, the past, the opinions of others, what's happening around us, also the result of our efforts, the future, how others take care of themselves, what they think of us, all things that are completely beyond our control. We are also obsessed with social media and screens, forgetting that this virtual world is designed to enslave us. And yet, we cling to these elements as if we could change them by our own power. The leaders. Morgan said, and I quote, "You decide where your time goes. You can spend it moving forward or putting our fires. You decide. And if you don't decide, others will decide for you." I want to emphasize that it is essential for each of us to manage well our time. The leaders. In the second time, I would like to give you some ideas to help everyone to manage well your times. We are young and we must understand, like Stefan said, the key is not to waste time, but to invest it. Here are some tips to help us to manage well our time. First, set clear goals. Define what you want to accomplish in your life. Use SMART criteria as specific, measured, achievable, realistic, and time-bound to define clear and achievable goals. 2, prioritize tasks. You can identify the most important tasks and focus on them first. Third, avoid multitasking. Focus on one task at a time to improve your efficiency and the quality of your work. 4, limit your distraction. Focus minimize your interruption by turning off notification on your mobile phone, and also setting specific time to check your emails and social medias, because social medias take more time, more time. Delegate and automate. You can delegate tasks for others and also automate repetitive tasks to save time. The last idea is take breaks. Regular breaks can help you stay focused on or prevent burnout. The fellow Toastmaster, the visitor, and also our relationships Toastmaster, I am at the end of my speech, and the purpose of this sharing is to help us to take time and to do some calendar, and also to take good resolution for time management, because it is important to manage well our time. So thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, dear Toastmaster Sylvie Savadogo, for this interesting topic. Indeed, time flies, and time is the most important commodity. Thank you for giving us some tips to manage well our time. Now let's move with our third speaker. He is from Seaside Toastmaster Club. He is a finance guru with expertise in people, project and performance management. She is also a public speaker, storyteller, and leadership advocate. She is a double distinguished Toastmaster with an extensive leadership experience across West and Central Africa. She is actively involved in 4 Toastmaster Club, demonstrating a strong commitment to personal and professional development. Beyond professional pursuits, she relishes reading, blogging, volunteering, dancing, and exploring combat sports. She lives by the Kaizen continuous improvement mantra. Our first speaker is Toastmaster Shidi Shukwedi Madu. Before calling her on stage, let me invite evaluator, our mentor, Nadine Yoda, to give us more information about the speech of our speaker. Nadine Yoda is an administrative assistant. Hobbies are gospel music and caring for children. That's very interesting. A favorite quote is from Nelson Mandela. I quote, "I never lose. Either I win or I learn." Dear mentor Nadine Yoda, over to you, please. We cannot hear you, dear mentor. We cannot hear you. I personally cannot hear you. I don't know if you are hearing. No. It's not fixed yet. We cannot hear you at all.
I think that you can move on for the next speech. Maybe
Okay.
she will try to manage.
So we will move on with our next speaker, and we will come back with our third speaker. Okay. So the next speaker is from Boni Toastmaster Club. He joined Toastmasters since 2022, and he is a member of Boni Toastmaster Club. He is a VIP. Immediate past president of Boni Toastmaster Club. In professional life, he is the director of partnership at National School of Water and Forest. His hobbies are walking in the woods, music, footing. His favorite quote is from Mahatma Gandhi. I quote, "Where is love, there is life." So we have to share love everywhere we are. Our fourth speaker is Toastmaster Jibril Nyada. But before calling him on stage, let's invite his evaluator, Toastmaster Ajani Ibrahim, to tell us more about the speak of Jibril Nyada.
Hello. Thank you very much. Our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Salif Ouattara, for the want of introduction. My name is Ibrahim Ajani.
Can you hear me?
Okay, Toastmaster Nadine, we can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you. I was having problem with my mic. Thank you.
All right.
We wanted to go ahead with a...
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, before coming back.
Okay, I'll be waiting. Sorry, DTM Chidi.
All right, thank you very much. It's nice to have you back, Toastmaster Nadine Yoda. We can hear you loud and clear now. Now I'll be proceeding to state the purpose of Toastmaster Jibril Nada's speech. But first and foremost, I would like to say that I feel jubilant and honored to be evaluating the speech of Toastmaster Jibril Nada. The title of his speech is The Importance of Protecting Our Environment and Biodiversity. The duration of his speech is from 5 to 7 minutes. Mr. Timer, please take note. And the purpose of this speech project is for Toastmaster Jibril Nada to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance a speech. So during this speech, I'll be looking forward to how he uses his non-verbal communication skills, the body language, and also how he uses his voice to elevate the speech. Toastmaster Jibril Nada, I wish you all the best on the speech project, and I hereby hand over the control of the meeting back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Salif Ouattara.
Thank you very much, dear leader Toastmaster Ibrahim Ajani, for the well introduction of the speech objective of Jibril Nyada. Now let's welcome our speaker and give him a big round of applause to deliver his speech. Dear leader Jibril Nyada, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Salif Ouattara. Thank you for managing well this session. Dear Toastmaster, dear leader, ladies and gentlemen, I am Jibril Nyada. I am a forester. And then today I would like to talk to you about the importance of protecting the environment and the biodiversity. Ladies and gentlemen, let me first ask you a question. Have you ever asked yourself, what would our life be like without the element of the nature around us? That is the first question. And about this question, let me say you that this reflection is to remind you and remind all of us about the importance of our life closely to the environment, with that biodiversity, with plants and natural resources. So, by this topic, I would like to highlight the critical importance of protecting our environment. But to do this, we will explore together 5 elements of the nature, that is biodiversity, the importance of the environment, the importance of plants, protecting the natural resources, the protection of forests, and the impact of our daily choices. But at the end of this piece, I hope to not only raise your awareness, but also motivate you to take action to safeguard our precious planet. Ladies and gentlemen, dear leader, ladies and gentlemen, first, let us talk about biodiversity. What will you say if I asked you, what does biodiversity mean to you? And I will say, it's the greatest treasure we must preserve. Biodiversity is more than just a variety of species. Biodiversity is the key of our ecosystem. Each species, from largest to the smaller one, each one plays an essential role in maintaining ecological balance. For example, imagine a world without bees. Albert Einstein thought, if the bees disappear from the surface of the world, men will have no more than 4 years to live. Dear friends, shouldn't we consider our responsibility toward an existence of best pollinators? And what about plants? Plants are not just decorative. They are the lungs of our planet. They absorb carbon oxygen and produce carbon dioxide and produce oxygen with them. Do you think it's fair to ignore their vital role when we breathe? We take depends on them. The breath we take, when we breathe, we take the depends on them life. What plants could not provide us? Habitats, medicines, food, and much more. Do we need someone to remind us to protect these produce resources for our own survival? I don't think so. Ladies, gentlemen, what about the importance of protecting natural resources? Let's understand that our natural resources, whether water, mineral, and energy, are limited. According to experts, if we continue our current rate of consumption, we will have exhausted the earth capacity by 2050. That consequences will be imminent. What consequences will imminent crisis have on our children and grandchildren? How can we justify our reckless and irresponsible consumption? Dear leaders, we must protect our forest. Remember that forests cover 31% of the Earth's surface. And each day, 20 times of the surface of a football field is lost. When we try to cover the nature, we strive to recover what we lose. It's not a service we provide. That is a quote from John Murray. That's why we must ask to ourselves, what are the importance of our daily choices? Every action counts, whether it's the choice of a product, how we travel, or how our habits, consumption, everything we have an impact on our environment. Have you ever thought about the cumulative effect of these choices on our planet? Let's quote Mahatma Gandhi, who said that be the change you wish to see in the world. Are we ready to make the decision that promote sustainable future? Dear ladies and gentlemen, to conclude, I would like you to remind that the protection of environment and with biodiversity is a necessity, not a choice. As a final note, I would like to quote Wangari Maathai that says, it's time to act not only for our own life, but for future generations. Let us commit to making a difference. Thank you. That's the end of my speech. Back to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you very much, Jelly Day Jibril, for this wonderful speech. We got you. It's very important for us to protect the nature. We are nothing without this diversity around us. So we have to protect the nature, and every action counts. Thank you very much. Now let's back to our DTM, Shidi, who is a finance guru with expertise in people, project, and performance management. She is also a public speaker, storytelling, and leadership advocate. To evaluate a speech, let's call on stage our mentor, Toastmaster Nadine Yoda, to tell us more about the speech of our DTM Shidi. Please, dear leader, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, dear jubilant Toastmaster of the Day. Can you confirm that you hear me?
Yeah, very well.
Do you hear me?
Yes, very well. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. Today, I have the pleasure, the jubilant occasion to evaluate a great leader, a DTM, our DTM Chidi. And her speech today is on her project 1, level 2 of motivational strategy. Let me tell you that she's running fast for her second DTM award. And today she has decided to talk to us about understanding your communication style. Yeah, she will tell us about her communication style. And the purpose of her speech is to learn about the different communication styles we can have and identify her own communication style and share the impact of her communication style with others. Let me tell you that she will have 5 to 7 minutes to give us a speech, and she will deliver her speech. I will be watching on her, the structure of her speech, the audience awareness, how she's using her body language to convey the message. To conclude, I will tell you that communicating requires speaking and acting in a way to convey your message. And our dear DTM Chidi is going to tell us communication style. Dear DTM Chidi, I will be enjoying your speech and I wish you a jubilant time delivering this wonderful speech. Over to you, dear Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, dear mentor Nadine Yoda. We are waiting for the jubilant speech of our DTM Chidi. Dear leader DTM Chidi, over to you.
Find your voice, they say. But if you grew up in an average Nigerian family, you will know that finding your voice usually is not by choice, but by survival. It's usually a fight between the person who shouts the loudest, has the power to say, who do you think you're talking to? Or that person who can say, go and get me the king. You see, I grew up in a family where one voice was absolutely important. My mother's voice. Her voice was a mixture of sound, eyes, facial expressions, and her stance. All these things pass a clear message to you. And you just have to have the divine interpretation to understand what each one meant. Somehow in that chaos, I found my voice, or at least I thought I was, or I did. I was jubilant when I first had the opportunity to explore my voice, the sound of me. I was evocative. I was expressive when I spoke, not just my words. It took my facial expression. Oh, my shoulders spoke. And even sometimes I break a step. But along the line, guess what happened? Some people will say, oh, Chidi, you're too loud. You're too bubbly. You're too jubilant. Tone it down. And then there was a riot in my brain wondering, how exactly do I find my voice? How exactly do I sound to people? Those who tell me to tone it down, how do I sound to them? Those who want to hear me speak, how do I sound to them? Do I even understand what the sound of me was? In this chaotic moment of my life, Toastmasters found me. And within Toastmasters, I understood that I was not loud. I was not too expressive. It was my authentic expressions, and I had to own it jubilantly. You see, Toastmasters has taught me that there are 4 types of communication. The direct, straight to the point speaker. The initiator, oh, the person who loves to gist, always had a story for everyone. The analytical one, who wants to cross all the I's, dot all the T's, had all the spreadsheet and everything. And then the supportive, oh, the one who is the comforter, who wanted everyone to feel at home, feel heard, feel loved. You know what I found out? I was the embodiment of all those styles. I'm primarily an initiator, someone who had gists. I always had a story to tell. But when the time comes for it, perhaps I'm interacting with my kids, or it was time to meet a deadline at work, the directing element of me come out. And it's, we need to get this done. When I notice that people are down, feeling sad, or feeling hurt, or feeling emotionally drained, the supportive part of me comes out, and I just want to make them feel better, put a smile on their face, make life a little easier for them. And when it's time to communicate certain information that require data, oh yes, my brain draws out its spreadsheets, its PowerPoint, and it communicates. I've learned that my style flows. It's dynamic. It's very focused like the Japanese weather. Intuitive, clear, and adapting to the situation that it finds itself at. I have not found this style by chance. I have not found it by mistake. I found it because Toastmasters first found me, and then I allowed myself to find the sound of me. So when I speak or when I communicate, I adapt, I adjust, I align, because communication isn't about being heard. It's about being understood. What's my style? What's the sound of me? I am the storyteller, the gist giver, the hand mover, the eyebrow lifter. I communicate with color. I communicate with candor. I communicate with soul, and I do it jubilantly. Fellow Toastmasters and guys, I have discovered my style. What's your style? What's the sound of you? You need to find it. You need to own it, embody it, and you need to amplify it so that the world will hear its volume. We're here to communicate. We're here to engage. We're here to grow, to learn. I found the sound of me. Now it's time for you to do the same. Thank you very kindly, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, dear DTM, for this jubilant speech. It was very interesting. So dear fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, let us find and discover our sound to help us communicate as our DTM schedule. It was very interesting. Now we will move on to the most exciting part of Toastmaster, which is the impromptu speeches. So to lead this section, let me call a leader. He is a rural development engineer, a project manager. He joined Toastmaster since July 2017 to become a great leader of his generation. And guess what? He is now the current director of the Division E. He likes reading, and his favorite quote is, "Direction is more important than speed." Dear fellow Toastmaster and distinguished guests, let's welcome our Division Director, Toastmaster Bukari Savadogo, to lead the table topic section. Dear leader, over to you.
Thank you very much, dear Toastmaster of the day. Dear Toastmaster, dear guest, one important key to success is self-confidence. An important key to self-confidence is preparation, said Arthur Ashe. At Toastmasters, we are working during every session on our ability to deliver and prepare pitches. Today, I'm happy to manage this part of our training. How does this exercise consist? I will share a topic and ask someone to give her comment. Your response must be structured and delivered within 1 to 2 minutes. Are you okay? So let us move. The first question is that the theme of this session is make every day count. Make every day count. I'm curious to understand how we can make every day count. How I can make my day count. Dear Irene, can you tell us how we can take everyday count? Irene, are you around? Irene? Okay, if Irene is not around, I will ask to Oba Bi Iman to respond. Oba Bi Iman. Iman? Okay. Is Jessica around? Okay. Ido, you want to share with us? I see your hand.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, let's go.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much. I just want to, how to make everyday count. I think I'll start with making everyday count means that you see every day as a new opportunity, a new chapter, a new day to, to strategize yourself or to start something new. You understand that the future, the past, you can't change anything about the past, but the future is still there. You can do something about it. So making every day count means that every day see it as a new opportunity for you to grow, for you to take more responsibility, and for you to also, explore, not letting what happened or the past or setback of the past to weigh you down or to put you down. You understand? You should see setbacks of or failure as a way to strategize yourself to come back and to regain energy. So making every day count simply means making every single day a new opportunity, a new day to do a new thing, a new day to innovate yourself, a new day to, to strategize yourself, a new day to plan ahead and to plan for the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, dear Ido. It's important to make every day count. Let us move to the next question. Someone who does not have a job, he spends his day watching TV. It's difficult to tell to this person to make every day count. Could he make every day count? Someone who does not job? How? Yeah, dear O.T. Grant.
Hi. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. Bon après-midi. I hope I got that right. To our Toastmasters from Burkina Faso. Really excited. Okay, so someone who does not have a job and sits watching TV all the time, can he or she make every day count? I believe the person can make every day count, but that would require a lot of rethinking. You can't, I think somebody described insanity as doing the same thing over and over, but expecting a different result. So for the person who currently doesn't have a productive life, if that is how we describe just sitting and watching TV, the way to improve that life is to sit back and rethink the entire life, re-architect your life. And one of those ways is, one, to start with purpose. So describe a different objective for your life. And two, determine a work plan on how to achieve that objective. And that could require a lot of things, including trying to meet new people, trying to go about your life in a different way, say, for example, acquire new skills, etc. But it is definitely possible to move from a low productive life to a more productive life. And in doing so, you would have to not just, every day is not the same in terms of the outcome. So some days you are jubilant, some days you are less jubilant, but you can definitely make the days count and make sure that at the end of every day, you can tick off the positive results that you've gotten from that day and the efforts that you've invested in that day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear Oti. Everyone can make every day count. Thank you very much. Let's move to the third question. Yeah. Making every day count. Does it mean we must avoid distraction? We must avoid entertainment? What do you think about this? Making every day count. Does it mean we must avoid distraction and entertainment? Who need to share his thought with us? Mohamed Sorgo, are you here?
Hello. Yeah,
Hello,
Toastmaster, I'm
Mohamed.
here. Yeah. For me, to answer these questions, entertainment is very important. By distraction can give her some direction. Who spend of new helpful our time. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Mohamed Sorgo. Let me ask you this question. I need someone to share with us his own experience in making every day count. To share with us his own experience in making every day count. Who want to share with us the strategy he used? Celia, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, dear DDE. I'm jubilant to show you how I make every day count for this project of organizing a joint session with Seaside Toastmasters Club. Yeah. So the first time I talked about this project to my mentor, she gave me the contact of the president of Seaside Toastmasters Club so that we can manage. And really there was a jubilant to receive us for the session. And every day we was interacting and we are planning to get this station. And today really, I'm happy to see this project being done. Yes. Yeah. And I learned a lot of things during this preparation project and also with the implementation. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, dear Celia.
Dear leader, we cannot hear you.
Dear time manager, do we have more time?
Yes, we can just take one more speech.
Okay. So, thank you very much, everybody, for this opportunity you share. This opportunity you share to me to play this role. I hope this short session allow everybody to understand and to see how Toastmasters learn in making speech without preparation. So thank you very much, and I will let the floor to the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Topic Master, for this interesting table topic section. This will help us to build self-confidence, which is very important to succeed. Thank you to all our table topic speakers for your jubilant and spontaneous responses. Now, I think it's time to vote for the best speaker. We had 4 speakers, I think. Please, can you remind me the first speaker, the name of the first speakers? The topic master.
It was Wasiu.
The first, Wasiu.
Yes, Wasiu Ijoma.
Table topics, my
So
bad.
the first speaker was Wasiu. The second, Grant
The first speaker is Boma Harrison.
Boma Harrison. I'm not talking about the prepared speech. It's about table topic.
Okay.
Speakers.
Thank you. Okay, you're correct.
So it is Wasiu. And the second was Grant Oti, the third speaker Mohamed Sorbo, and the last speaker Celia Kabori. So to proceed for the votes, I think we can go in the chat and write our favorite speaker. Toastmaster was you. Toastmaster.
You can vote. There's a chat, a vote box.
Yeah. So I will let Toastmaster Mariam okay. She is around to lead the voting process. Mariam okay is around.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm here. Is it time for evaluation?
Not time for evaluation. It's just time to vote for the speakers. I think
Yeah,
you are
the poll is up. The poll is up on the meeting link, so people can just take the votes. We can just take the votes. Yeah.
It's okay for everyone. So now we are moving to the result. Yeah, Toastmaster, Madam. Okay, it's okay now.
Yes, we have stopped the poll. You can proceed, sir.
Do we have a final result?
Yes, we would. Yes, we have the final result, but we'll communicate it at the ending of the meeting.
Okay, great. Now we are moving on to our last section, which is the evaluation section, and there we will have constructive feedback, which will be given by the talented and qualified team of evaluation to help us sharpen our communication skills. Please welcome our general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Mukolo Francis, will lead the evaluation part.
Thank you again and again, jubilant Toastmaster Sally Ouattara. You've done well. So jubilant, to see the jubilant Kotara. I trust the grammarian is still here. So, right, let's move along to evaluate the first speech. Toastmaster Abibat, please take it away from me. Evaluate, give Toastmaster Boma some feedback she can use.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Bravo, TM Boma. Thank you for delivering. Well done on delivering that beautiful speech. First of, I would like to commend your speech. I like the way you introduce your speech because you engage the audience. You started with I love the fact that you started with a question, which is, have you ever experienced a generational gap in your workplace? And when you do that, what does that, I mean, it kind of engage the audience in the sense that when you ask that question, have you ever experienced a generational gap in your workplace? By that, when you do that, the audience are already thinking, even if those have not, if they are experienced it, we'll be able to connect. And those that have not experienced, will like, oh, have I experienced it? And when you do that, you didn't just leave us at that point. You went further, and then you went further to break down the generations we have. You went further you mentioned Gen X, you mentioned millennials, and you mentioned Gen Zs. And why you do that, you kind of engage the audience because you asked the audience, you asked us identify ourselves at the point you're like, oh, any Gen X in the house, any millennial in the house, and any Gen Z in the house. And I was looking at the comment section where people were able to connect because someone said, oh, thank you for remembering Gen Z. Even those that didn't comment at the point when you're mentioning it, even, I mean, we were able to identify ourselves because we fall at this, it fall in either one of it. But oh, that's me. But then there was no reaction. But then we're able to connect with the audience by starting with a question. And then because your speech is quite informational, I don't know, can anyone hear me? Because okay, my video is blank, so I'm just giving the
Please
evaluation.
continue, go on. Can
Okay,
hear
yeah,
you.
thank you. Thank you, just to confirm. So it went further to give us some tips because your speech is quite informational. You give us some tips on how we can navigate this generational divide that occurs. And then you gave us 3 tips, which is their communication preference, our motivational styles, and how we can build trust. And for each of them, you gave an example. When you mentioned communication preference, you mentioned generations that like phone calls, that's Gen X, and you also mentioned some generations that like face-to-face communication, Gen Zs. And when you went to the motivational styles, you mentioned, oh, some generations they like text to text, and some generations they like personalization. And that for the personalization, that can be identified with Gen Z, and the text to text, that was the Gen X. Then the third one was building trust. I think I like the fact that at that point you incorporated a quote which kind of add depth to what you are trying to emphasize. And the quote was, there is more than unites us than what divides us. And that's a quote by Mariko Mark. And I think that was well done. One suggestion I would like to give you is, because the purpose of your speech is on vocal variety, how well you can connect to your audience using using vocal variety and physical expression. Fine, there was physical and there was hand gestures, but the vocal variety was not really there. An example, I think, is something you can, while you are giving the example, is something you could have kind of you can incorporate. An example is why you gave an example of when you are having a communication with your daughter, that was on that when you said there was an emoji that you didn't understand, and then your daughter was like, oh, don't you understand? And there was an emoji you didn't know, and your daughter was able to identify it. At that point, you can kind of incorporate vocal variety, because you can do it such that it was a conversation between 2 people. So that, oh, it's just based, oh, mommy, you don't know this vocal variety, you don't know this emoji, it means smiley, and you just come with this expression of, oh, I don't know, I just like if you added that kind of example, like a discussion between two people, it's going to make your speech more interesting. And that you've also added vocal variety to your speech. However, I mean, I can say your speech is quite informational. You're able to connect we're able to connect at every point. And I also like the fact that, you didn't just leave us to the speech, because from the beginning to the end, we're able to connect. And then in your conclusion, you asked the question. I mean, you gave us a charge. How are we going to take this further in the next on Tuesday? And think with that, when you say that, everybody will already learn something from your speech. And then all we're thinking is, oh, how are we going to take this further? So on Tuesday, when you go to work, you can say, oh, I've learned something from Toastmaster Boma's speech. And then how can I incorporate this in everyday life or everyday activities? So thank you, TM Boma, for giving us this informational and wonderful speech. Thank you.
Thank you for the feedback.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Abibat. Well done. Please, for our subsequent evaluators, let's take notes of the screen called Ebube, in brackets, DKDIKEH, and please, time management. Toastmaster Saeed Quadrago, please come up to evaluate Toastmaster Siva's speech. Sivier in French.
Thank you so much, dear General Evaluator, for giving back the floor to evaluate the speaker number 2, Sylvie Sawadogo. I would like to ask before the time she did, from the timer, how many times she did for her speech? Is the timer around?
Yes.
But I need that to evaluate her.
Okay, so who should I give you the time report? What's the name?
Sorry?
The second speaker, Toastmaster CV.
I need also to have the time of my speaker.
Okay, she spoke 6 minutes 56 seconds.
Okay. Thank
what
you so
about
much.
DTM Chidi?
DTM Chidi spoke for 5 minutes 53 seconds.
Okay.
Thank you
3
so
or
much.
33?
53 seconds.
Okay, thank you.
I have to take it in account for the time allocated for my my evaluation. Okay, now let's move on. I can see that leader Sawadogo was on time because the time given to her was 5 to 7 minutes. She did a great job. And I have to remind that the evaluation form of our leader did not match. That doesn't match with the title of her speech. You're supposed to talk about the different different style of communication, and she talked about time management. And if I have good reminders, I think I can. If I have good reminders, I think that there are a project allocated during the path for her. So, but I'm going to base my evaluation about what she has done. She talked about for this project, she started talking about a story, giving us a short story about how she's the successful baccalaureate in order to introduce her, the title of her speech. And during her speech, she gave us a lot of two quotes, and one from Morgan Freeman, what I could not quote right here. And during the speech, she talked about gave us about some ideas to manage well our time. And time, as we know, time management is very important for a leader like us, for Toastmaster, and for our daily movement. Well, we need to work on our time. And she gave us some ideas, just like to define our goals and prioritize tasks. She continued talking about avoiding multitasker, doing many tasks together at the same time, and limit our distraction, and regular work is also vital to manage time. Here are the sum up of the content of our dear leader. And I can notice that through speech, she used some a little bit vocal variety, and the clarity of her tone was very good. And I have to appreciate that you did a good job about that. You also keep eye contact when you were delivering your speech. I really like it because a leader should engage in audience by keeping eye contact. And this has helped us to catch audience awareness. And after her speech, I saw 3 or 4 comments from the different participants who were encouraging her about her speech. That was very, very wonderful. And the comfort level of our dear leader was awesome. I noticed someone who were at ease while delivering her speech. For next time, I would like to invite her to align her evaluation form with the speech that she is going to deliver, because there were, a different with what she has done in her evaluation form. However, I would like to encourage her to continue moving on and move to her next speech. Back to you, dear General Evaluator.
Thank you for your feedback.
Well done. Back to you, dear General Evaluator. Is the evaluator around?
Thank you again and again. Well done.
Good.
Toastmaster Ajani, please, can you come on board to help with the evaluation of Toastmasters?
The protection of our environment is a necessity, not a choice. Each species helps to maintain the ecological balance of the biosphere as well as the atmosphere. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Jibril Nada, for that enlightening speech about the importance of protecting our environment as well as in protecting the biodiversity. Your speech was a captivating one and really, really explains to us the importance of taking care of our environment. I like the way you started your speech. You opened with a very captivating question. And what was the question you asked? The question you asked was this: what will our lives look like without the beauty of nature? And the moment you asked that question, I was thinking about the beauty of nature. You know, the forest, the beaches, the mountains, the rivers, the oceans, the domestic animals, the wildlife, the snakes, the birds, and all that comprises of the beauty of nature. Thank you very much for opening your speech with such a captivating question. I like the fact that right from the start of your speech, you stated the purpose of your speech. And the purpose of your speech was this: number one, to raise awareness about the importance of protecting our environment. And number two was to motivate others to take actions to care for our planet. Well done. Another thing I like about your speech was the fact that obviously your message was relevant. So your speech was very, very important. We need to take care of our environment. I like the fact that you show that you're very knowledgeable and you're credible as a speaker. And the way you show this by citing the fact that you yourself, you are a forester. And who would doubt a forester on the subject of the environment and the biodiversity? Now, why you have so many high points in your speech, I feel like there are so many aspects of your speech that can be improved upon. Number one thing that can be improved was the way you started your speech. Now, you asked a nice question, but before that, you were going through some salutations, good afternoon, bon après-midi. You don't need all that. Drop the salutations and dive straight to your speech because you want to grab the audience attention right from the start. Another thing you can improve upon about your speech is your vocal variety. I needed to see more passion and more energy. Considering the fact that you yourself, you are a forester, you need to show that you really care about what you're talking about. When you said biodiversity is the greatest treasures is the greatest treasure we have, and we must preserve it. I was expecting you to be more passionate about your speech. Your voice was too monotonous during the speech. I would want you to really, really watch that in your future speeches. Now, another thing I want to comment upon is your body language. I felt like your body language was very, very reserved. You are very limited in the way you expressed yourself in the speech. When you say something like, do we need to be reminded to protect our natural resources? I was expecting you to really, really be more passionate about that, but you were not. So since your speech is about body language and vocal variety, that's something I want you to look at. All in all, it was a fantastic speech, Toastmaster Jibril Nada, and I wish you all the best in future speeches.
Thank you most kindly, Toastmaster Ajani, former president of our great club. So to evaluate the final speech delivered by the ever jubilant DTM Chidi, fellow Toastmasters and guests, Toastmasters in Nigeria, Toastmasters in Burkina Faso, let's make welcome the mentor of mentors, DTM Nadine Yoda. Over to you, Ma.
Thank you very much, dear General Evaluator. Thank you, DTM Chidi, for putting on your camera so that I can see you and see the power and hear the sound in you. What a jubilant speech. I really enjoyed it. And I want to start by congratulating you, dear DTM Chidi, for this wonderful, inspiring speech about your communication style. Yes, I loved your speech. I love the way you introduced it. I love the power that you used to deliver this speech. I love the way you talked about the different styles, communication styles that Toastmaster is teaching us. You talked about the analytical style, you talk about the supporter, the initiator. Those are all types of communication styles that we have at Toastmaster, and you were able to talk about it and to give examples about these communication styles. And what I loved most is the way you told us about your own communication style. You were able to tell us that your own communication style embodies all these styles given by Toastmaster, and I really loved it. I enjoyed the way you talked about the supportive style you use when you have people around you, when you have somebody who need care, who need attention, the way you use the supportive style. I also like the way you talked about your style when you are dealing with your children, and all this is just wonderful. Toastmaster Chidi, I really enjoy this. I enjoyed your body language, and your speech was captivating. And I can say that your body language was so impactful and confirmed the title you gave to your speech, The Sound in Me. Above all this, I just want to give you 1 or 2 points that you will take note of for your next speech. First, you may have taken some quotes to emphasize on some of the on some of your styles that you have given, or at the end of your speech, that could improve and enhance again your speech. Secondly, this project you could have gone, you had about your time, 5 minutes and 53 seconds, which means you have 1 minute and about 10 seconds to say something more. And I would have loved to see you using this time, maybe using it to interact with your audience by asking them questions about the communication style that you have given, about what they have heard and what they have understood about your speech. This would have enhanced. And last, I want you to use this topic. Why not? To make it a project, to make it something that will be rewarding to more people. Finding your voice, finding the sound of you in yourself is very important. And more people need to know how to get to that and how to be able to find their own voices. So I encourage you to make a project where you will gather more people, more Toastmasters, and teach them how to find the sound in themselves, in the sound within them. Just like your mom has been able to make you found the sound in you, and how Toastmaster has made you find the sound in you. Congratulations. Move on to your next speech, and I will really enjoy to evaluate you again. Thanks. Back to you, General Evaluator. Dear General Evaluator, are you around? He's not around. Maybe
Okay,
someone can
thank
take
you
over.
very much. Sorry, I was
Oh,
thrown
okay.
out by my network. Thank you. I am back. I am back. Thank you. The network threw me out. So thank you again and again, my wonderful and jubilant evaluators. You all did a great job. I'm jubilant that our speakers have one or two things to take home. Thank you again and again for sharing your feedback with our speaker. So move quickly right along. Please, can we vote for the best evaluator? For the best evaluator, a poll will be on the screen. Okay, before we vote, timing rules. I think from what I can see, but let me not usurp the role of the timer. Timer, please help us with the timing.
Thank you so much, Mr.
The timing for the evaluators.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. General. From the responses, only Toastmaster Ibrahim Ajani kept to time. Toastmaster Ibiba did not speak to time. Toastmaster Sedu did not speak to time. Toastmaster Nadine did not speak to time. Only Toastmaster Ibrahim Ajani with 3 minutes 58 seconds. Thank you so much. I'm back to you, Mr. General.
Okay, so meaning who vote for, I didn't quite get, take that again, please, for me.
Okay, only Toastmaster Ibrahim Ajani kept to time. The others did not.
Thank you again. By the powers vested in me, I hereby declare Toastmaster Ajani as the winner. Ooh. So I think there won't be need for us to vote at this point, since it's just Toastmaster Ajani that kept the time. At Toastmasters, we know the importance of time management. We have even had a speech on time management. Oh, I am not jubilant indeed that we all surpassed the time. Jubilant has been thrown out of the window now. So let's quickly segue into my role player, team of jubilant and competent role players. First on board is to beckon on the grammarian to come give us his report. Toastmaster Kudus Adebayo, over to you.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. We've had a very nice meeting, and I must tell you, I'm jubilant for what I've learned so far today. On the use of the word of the day, Toastmaster Salif used the word of the day 3 times. Toastmaster Boma used it once. Toastmaster Jani Boyem used it once. Toastmaster Nadine used it once. Toastmaster Celia used it two times. Toastmaster Chidi Chukudemalo DTM used it 4 times. Guest Wasirido, who used it twice in the chat box. And the elephant of the room used it 9 times. Guess who that is? Toastmaster Francis Mokoli. Is the one that is going on with the word of the day. We give him that word. throughout this week, please don't use any other word than jubilance. I had some beautiful quotes. Toastmaster Sylvie, our listening evaluator, said, "Exuberance is beauty," a quote by William Blake. Toastmaster Boma said, stereotypes are more perceived and not necessarily real. DTM Chidi said, "My shoulders spoke." That's a very nice figure to speak. And Toastmaster Grant said, "Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result." We've had a nice time so far, and we've had a good use of the grammar. Thank you, and over to you, the general evaluator.
Thank you again and again, my grammarian. In fact, you can see how jubilant I am. Thank you, Toastmaster Kudus Adebayan. I will take heed. All other words will be thrown out of the window. I think somebody mentioned from Tuesday. So I have now till Monday midnight to use all other words. But from Tuesday, jubilant all the way. So thank you, Toastmaster Jani. Please let us have the table topics evaluation. The table topics evaluation will be handled by none other than table topics evaluation. Toastmaster Miriam Okay, the Vice President membership of our great club. Please do this as briefly as you can. Thank you.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Good afternoon to everyone on the call, my fellow Toastmasters from Nigeria and Burkina Faso, and all our dear guests in the room today. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to hear our members think on their feet. And for table topics today, our table topics master is Toastmaster Bukari Salvadogo, who delivered that session brilliantly. So to begin my evaluation, I would like to suggest that when we are doing table topics, we should reach out to people in the meeting before the session so as to save time. Let's not wait until it's time for the evaluation, then we call people to the podium. They may or may not be close to their devices. So, but anyways, we have 4 speakers that participated in today's table topic session. And the first table topic speaker is Wasiu Idowu. And I love the way you answered the question, how do you make everyday count? And how do you make everyday count is in line with today's meeting theme. And what you did very well, you answered clearly. And I like the way you opened confidently and you answered the question directly. Your tone was jubilant and you maintained eye contact when you were speaking. You also handled the content of your response is relatable. You told people to focus on the future and not on the past. So one thing I would like to suggest that you should perhaps slow down slightly so that you can allow the audience to absorb each of your idea before moving on. And I would also suggest that you should infuse your response with a story because it makes you more relatable. So I'm going to move on to the second table topic speaker, who is Grant Oti, and you answered the question, how do you make everyday count even when you don't have a job? And what you did really well is that you gave us a step-by-step process of thinking and strategizing on how to take our day from a day of low productivity to a day of high productivity. The way you answered, I was even thinking maybe you've gotten the question before the meeting. So what I would like to suggest is that when you're trying to speak, especially when it's an online meeting, please make sure you look at your camera angle, because your camera angle today, it was as if we were looking from you from below. Please, next time, try and work on that. Lastly, what I would suggest that you work on is your speech was beautiful and you infused you infused a quote in your speech. And that quote is insanity is doing something repeatedly the same way and expecting a different result. Why you used a quote, which is good, you did not tell us who is the author of that quote. And in this case, when I checked the internet, it's saying it's Albert Einstein. So next time, tell us who Albert Einstein is. He's a scientist. And before you tell us the quote, that way people can, it gives precedence to your speech and make your speech more authentic. So I will move on to the third speaker who answered the question, does making everyday count means avoiding distraction? And the person who spoke was Mohammed Sogo. What I would like to say is thank you for speaking. You really went straight to the point. You answered your question, but you got stuff and you could not continue. So you didn't even speak to 1 minute. So I'm going to suggest ways where you can elongate or expand your speech. One thing you can do during table topics is so that you can gather your thoughts on what to say, you can repeat the question again, or you can ask the table topics master to repeat the question. So while he's repeating the questions, you're thinking about the points you're going to talk about when you're responding to that question. Another thing I think you can also do is to give life to a speech is share a story about how you can or cannot avoid distraction. Before you know it, the 2 minutes, 30 seconds that you have will not be enough. You would have to be rushing to conclude. So lastly, we have Toastmaster Celia, and she answered the question on share an experience about how you made your day count. And what I would like to say is you used today's meeting as the story to answer your question. I felt like that was really brilliant. You told us about all the things you learned, lessons while preparing for today's meeting. So I also love the fact that you used the quote of the day while you were speaking. And one thing I would like for you to work on is that you should work on your visual. Your camera was blurry when you were speaking and we could barely see you. And also the angle of your camera was slightly off. So I would also like for you to work on that. So thank you for sharing your experience, Toastmaster Celia Cabo. It was a pleasure listening to you. So I would round up by saying that all the speakers did well today. They were quick on thinking on their feet, and they delivered a spontaneous and engaging response. Well done. Over to you, the general evaluator.
Many thanks. This ever jubilant Seaside Vice President Education. They were spontaneous. They were good at thinking. Membership noted. They were jubilant. They were spontaneous at thinking on their feet. That is what we do at the table topic session. Many thanks again for that evaluation. So we'll proceed to my tag team. The grammarian has given us his reports. We'll move immediately to the next role player, the accounter, Toastmaster Ulrich, over to you. Toastmaster Ulrich Basol, are you still with us? Toastmaster Ulrich. Master Ulrich Basol, okay. I think he's not available at this time. So let's quickly go into the report. Okay, who just spoke?
No.
Okay, it's not available. So Toastmaster Ebube, can you give us your report while we wait for Toastmaster? Just mention every other thing you had not mentioned.
They don't forget the listening evaluation.
Is noted. We'll call the listening evaluator after the time, Mama.
Thank you so much. Mr. General Evaluator, for the opportunity to come share with you my report. Today, we had a couple of people who did not keep within time. For the table topic session, we had Toastmaster Wasiu, he spoke within time. Toastmaster Grant, he spoke within time. Toastmaster Celia spoke within time, but Toastmaster Mohammed did not speak up to 1 minute. And then for the prepared speech segment, Toastmaster Boma kept to time, Toastmaster Sylvia kept to time, then DTM Chidi also kept to time. But Toastmaster Jibril spoke for 8 minutes, 12 seconds and did not keep to time. Then on the evaluation segment, every other person did not keep to time, aside from Toastmaster Ibrahim Ajani. And that is my timers report. And back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, reliable and jubilant timekeeper. So move immediately to the listening evaluator. The listening evaluator, take it away from me.
Okay, thank you so much, dear General Evaluator, dear Toastmasters and guests. I'm looking for my note. As Pythagoras once said, he who speaks sows, he who listens reaps. Now it's time for me to gather the harvest. I will test your level of listening during this session with the following question. I have 4 questions. So, who can define the time range of the millennial and cite one of their communication preference? Who can help us with the age range of the millennials and cite an example of their communication style? Let me choose someone. Dear Ajani Ibrahim.
I'm with you.
Yeah, please, can you help us with the age range of the millennials and one example of their communication style?
The millennials, I think those are the ones between 1986 and 1996, I believe. And their communication style, based on the speech we had today, they prefer more informal style of communications. Yeah, they'll prefer WhatsApp, they'll prefer text messages, and very minimal phone call or minimal one-to-one communication styles.
Okay, you said 1980 what?
I think 1986 to 1996.
Oh, it's 1981.
Oh, 81. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm a millennial, so thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thanks for the correction.
Yeah. So I have a question about the speech of my homonym Sylvie Sawadogo, who can help us with 2 time management types she cited. I look at the participants. Dear David Olugo Noba. Dear David, are you around? David Olugonoba is not around. Dear Grant OT. Grant OT, are you around? Dear Grant OT, are you around?
Good afternoon. This is David Olugova. Apologies.
Okay.
Stepped
Yeah,
out
okay.
brief section. I just heard my name before. So please, pardon me. I'd like to take the question again. What's the question, please?
Okay, can you help us with 2 time management types that Sylvie Sawadogo cited in her speech?
Okay, time management times. I remember she talked about smart, setting smart goals. So, and she talked about something relating to specific, measurable, achievable, time-bound, realistic. And that's one point I took away because that will help you to manage your activities during the day. And second is making a list of what you want to achieve. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. My third question is about the theme of the day. The table topic master said that to make every day count, do we avoid distraction? Who can help us with one of the response of the participants? Do we need to avoid distraction to make every day count? I am looking for the participant list. Dear Justin Joseph. Justin Joseph, are you around? Dear Justin, not around. Dear Michael Onyedi Kashi. Dear Michael.
Yes, I just joined, so don't really know. Can you hear me?
I didn't hear you very well.
Yes, I said I just joined, and
okay.
Yes, I just joined.
Okay, sorry.
I'll be listening. No problem.
Okay. So dear Wasiu Idovu, can you help us?
All right, so please, can you come with the question again, man?
The table topic master said that do we avoid distraction if we want to make every day count? One Toastmaster replied, yeah.
All right, yes, he mentioned that we can avoid, we can make every day count by avoiding distraction. And he mentioned he gave some instances by saying that, putting or acquiring things that matter or setting priorities.
Okay.
Focusing on things that matter and try to navigate those things that are important, and with that we can achieve or make the day count and meaningful.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. My last question, timer, do I have time for my last question?
No, you've used up your timer.
Oh, sorry. So, dear General Evaluator, from what we just heard, I think the listening level was good today, and I encourage you, dear Jubilant Leader, to continue improving your active listening skills. Thank you so much. Dear General Evaluator.
Thank you most kindly. Toastmaster CVA. Well done. You have done well. Improve your listening. And again, don't listen to respond, listen to understand. So I'll quickly take a quick evaluation of the meeting. The meeting has been so wonderful. In fact, I really enjoyed myself. Nigeria meets Burkina Faso. Thank you to the team at Seaside and the team at the club in Burkina Faso for setting up this meeting. But I have found different ways of pronouncing my name and pronouncing some other names. Well done to everyone. In fact, I don't need to have a dream of going to Paris, but no need. I've had an engagement. with my fellow Toastmasters from Burkina Faso. It's as good as Francis have gone to Paris. Thank you again and again. So the meeting started right on time at 2 p.m. Great job to the Sergeant at Arms and the Vice President Education for summoning the guests and Toastmasters to join the call. The meeting room was okay. All members and guests were charged for this very important meeting. Then we decided that set the tone for the meeting, introduced the ground rules, read the Toastmasters promise on behalf of everyone. Thank you again, the Sergeant at Arms. The role players, as you can see, appeared prepared and they did a remarkable job. We haven't had to do some role juggling at the background. A Toastmasters wears many hats, and the Toastmaster quickly aligned and jumped into the role. So we had great speeches from bridging generational gap to effective time management to protecting our environment and learning your leadership style and aligning with your voice. Thank you to our speakers. Without the speeches, there will be no Toastmasters meeting. Speeches and Toastmasters meeting are inseparable. Thank you to our speakers. The meeting team make every day count. They're just like we have made today count by joining forces with our Toastmasters friends in Burkina Faso. We have made today count. Listening evaluator, very well done, is something we rarely do or we do once in a while at Seaside. Thank you for stepping up and playing the role. We learned and hopefully we'll insert that role in our meeting agenda going forward. I think we had most of the role player had their video turned on. Since this is a virtual meeting, it is very advisable so your audience members can see you and relate with the voice that is speaking. Some areas of improvement, I think Toastmaster Miriam has mentioned this. I love the fact that today the meeting was replete with quotes again and again, front, back, left and right. Thank you to our speaker. Quotes help to reinforce your message by giving some external information. And when you mention the name or the quote, you should also accompany with a thing or two about the giver of the quotes, just like Toastmaster Miriam had mentioned. So we had network issue. Even the general evaluator was not left out. So as Toastmasters, we are always prepared. The general evaluator, take notes and get yourself a substitute, a second internet to help you out. So the second speaker, I felt the lights arrangement should have been reorganized or the positioning, because we did not get to see the reflection from the light. Really did not allow the audience members to catch a glimpse, to look at your face very well. So as the second evaluator rightly pointed out, it is advised for the second speaker, Toastmaster CV, if you can, to find a way to either redo the speech to align with your speech objectives. So I will leave that to you, just my opinion. So some of the evaluators went overboard. Some of the evaluators and speakers, please, as Toastmasters, let's learn to manage time. Keep it short and simple. The KISS approach, KISS. Keep it short and simple as Toastmasters. So the Toastmaster of the day, I want you in your next engagement. I think we had over 47 guests and members, and now we are left with a little under 30. Try to engage the audience more, tell them about Toastmasters, tell them about the next role, and so on. So you endear them to Toastmasters, and the guests will want to remain in the meeting till the end. So I've not left anything out. Table topics master, well done. The table topics evaluator has mentioned one evaluation for you. And I love the fact that you ensured that the theme of the meeting guided the table topics session. Well done. Great meeting. I have gone to Burkina Faso. Now I'll wait for the end of the meeting to come back to my darling country, Nigeria. Bon après-midi, my friends and guests. So I'll hand over the meeting to the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster of the day, Salif, take it away from me.
Thank you very much, dear General Evaluator, for your wonderful and constructive feedback. Yeah, it was really a jubilant feedback. We will take them into account in the future. Next time when we will be playing our roles, we will take your feedback into account. Thank you very much. Now we are almost at the end of the session. But before giving the floor to our president, let's take a group photo. So I invite you all to put on your camera so I can take a beautiful picture of the group. Here, Michael Oyeni, Kudus Adebayo, Mentor Nadine Yoda. Could you please open your camera? Mariam Traore, Abiba, and Jessica, please, can you open your camera for the picture? Let's smile, please. One more. Make V for victory. But how I will take yeah. Thank you. So now let's pass the control of the meeting to our President Ebube. It was a real pleasure for me to conduct the session. Thank you, everyone. Back to dear President Ebube.
Thank you so much, the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Salif, for your amazing control of today's meeting. I'd like to say well done. Please, can we celebrate Toastmaster Salif with a better round of applause? Thank you. Thank you. Please celebrate him. Celebrate him. I'm not seeing the react button. Can we use the react button to celebrate Toastmaster Salif? Thank you so much. Today, we have had a beautiful experience from different sides of things. Burkina Faso, we learned a lot. Nigeria as well, we learned a lot. And would like to say thank you so much. I have personally enjoyed today's meeting. And I hope that in the future, perhaps we may see how to refine some things and then see how to do it again. I'd like to say thank you for everyone who has stayed with us up till this moment. We do not take your time for granted. We do appreciate it. And today we did not do voting for the prepared speech segment. However, we have a lot of people who have improved tremendously in the way they have given their speech and in the way they have also conducted their evaluation. And for the voting segment which we took voting for the table topic segment and for the evaluation segment. And you voted and the results are here. This is the time to announce the winners of the people who have improved tremendously while they were giving their speech. And for the table topic segment, we would like to announce the winner to be Toastmaster Grant OT. Please, with a virtual round of applause, let's celebrate Toastmaster Grant. Congratulations, Toastmaster Grant, for getting to participate in the table topic segment. And also for the evaluation segment, we have our winner for the evaluation segment, Toastmaster Ibrahim Aljani, who is the immediate past president for Seaside Toastmasters Club. Please, let's celebrate Toastmaster Ibrahim Aljani for the amazing evaluation that was delivered. We have upcoming events for District 130. We have our we have currently our district conference that is coming up. And the district conference is going to be happening soon. And I'm going to be reading out the details of that shortly. We also have our division contest, division event that is happening as well. We have the division D event that would also be happening. And I'm also going to be reading out the information for us. So please take notes so that we can plan to attend this event in the time that it's going to be happening. And for the district conference that is happening in Niger Republic, I believe that a lot of us have already registered for this district conference. And it's my privilege and singular honor to inform you that the date is fast approaching for the district conference. And it's going to happen in Niger on May 15th to 17th, 2025. We also have our Toastmasters Nigerian conference that is going to be happening in Uyo, Nigeria. It's going to be happening on 13th to 14th of June, 2025. And then we have our own division event, which is Division D event, which is happening on 21st of June, 2025. That is the Division Excellence Award and Recognition. That is where we get to converge and then appreciate every of the executives who have participated and then award the best performing people. And also our next meeting for Seaside Toastmasters Club is going to happen on 3rd of May, 2025. And also I'd like to mention that we are currently approaching the end of our tenure. And in this period, this is the point where we get to do elections. We do nominations, we do election. I'd like to encourage all the club participants to please nominate who they believe is the right candidate to occupy certain positions, and we can hand over the transition of the baton to very competent hands in the course of service. And this is the period of renewals, membership renewals. It has been a privilege to be a Toastmaster. And the Toastmaster, they say, learning is endless. We can't stop learning. We just need to continue to learn. And to be able to continue to learn in Toastmasters, perhaps we need to continue to subscribe to the Toastmaster subscription. So I'd like to encourage us, please let's plan to renew our subscription and also continue to participate in the learning experience. Our time is already fast spent, and I would like to say a very big thank you to everyone who has stayed with us up to this moment. And by the powers vested on me as the president of Seaside Toastmasters Club, I therefore declare today's meeting closed. Thank you so much. Please, our guests, stay behind and let us have a quick interaction with you. Toastmaster Ugonna, we need your help if you can help us discuss with our guests. Toastmaster Ugonna. Okay, so please, our guests, kindly stay behind so that someone will get to address us and answer our questions. Thank you.
Good afternoon, our guests. Please confirm you can hear me, Toastmaster. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can hear you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Welcome to our friends.
Address our guests.
I didn't get that.
Okay, Toastmaster Francis, maybe you need to unmute yourself.
No, I was saying he should use French. It's just a joke. You know? He can proceed. This must have gone.
You are mute.
Yes, please, if you are a guest on call, can you just drop in the chat, I am a guest. I am a guest. If you are not a Toastmaster, can I just say I am a guest? Yes, our guest Wasiu Ido wants information on how he could register for the club. I am a guest. Welcome, Wasiu. We are happy to have you. My guest, please put I am a guest. Let's know how many guests we have. Wasiu, good to see you. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. How do you do today, sir?
Yeah, it's great. Welcome, Adiolu David, another guest. Wasiu, how did you find the meeting? Can you just introduce yourself? Let's meet you. Your name, what you do, and how you heard about Toastmasters and how you felt today's meeting went.
All right, thank you very much for that beautiful question. And my name is Wasim Adibola. I'm a graduate of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, and I'm currently serving. I'm a core member. So I get to know about Toastmaster, I think, about some years ago. I was trying to work on my public speaking and try to build my confidence. And which is I just searched for it on Facebook and I tried to register for any. I was just clicking, following different different pages about Toastmaster and all. So I think there was a time where I saw this club on Facebook when they were doing registration. So I just registered. I put my email and I started getting message from them and. Sincerely, today presentation or today what's it called? Today meeting was fantastic. Sincerely, I wasn't like what I got was what I was expecting. I was expecting like I wasn't expecting up to this standard, but then it was fantastic and lovely. And I started even within myself. I started building that courage that yes, I can do it. I can actually do it. I can chase the crowd and the whole thing can be done. So I'm happy and I'll be great and I'll be jubilant to be part of the great club.
Thank you very much, Wasiu, and we are happy to have you. Shortly, let me just meet other guests, then I will tell you a bit about Toastmasters. Our guest, Justin Joseph, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Adiolu David, please, can we just hear from you?
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Adiola. Good evening.
It's a pleasure to be here again. I've been here once, and this will be my second time to attend the Seaside Toastmasters meeting. I must confess that I've learned a lot, and I really am happy to be part of this event. I work as a business development analyst at Fitson Healthcare. I have a background in statistics,